Hello, beautiful beings. In this video, we're going to talk about your true self. So this concept can be kind of confusing because it's like, what is that really? But what we're going to talk about is who your true self is. So your divine nature, and then your true self as person. So as your most authentic expression on this beautiful planet Earth. So if this interests you, then whilst you're at it, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I'm Nightingale. I'm an energy intuitive and a higher consciousness channel. And on this channel, we awaken you to your true self. Yes, that's your divine self in your most authentic expression here in human form on this beautiful planet Earth. So if you're into authenticity, living from the heart, well, you've come to the right place. And now, let's get right into it. Who is your true self? So for me, this was quite a confusing concept in the beginning of my journey, because all I wanted to do when I had a spiritual awakening was like, I want to take these masks off. I just want to be who I really am. So for me, I'm a person of color. I may not look it, I'm mixed race, but I'm like second generation of mixed race. I'm from South Africa, and in South Africa, we call those people colored. Now that can be racist depending on where you're coming from, and some people in South Africa also don't like the term because the term was coined by the apartheid government. So if you look at me, I don't look that brown, right? So you can imagine this caused like a lot of confusion for me as a person, because I didn't really feel like I fit into my community, and nor did I really fit into the community that kind of I looked like white people. So I was like always kind of in between, so always on the fringe, and kind of adapting to fit with whoever it was at the time. And the fact that I could see this in myself, I thought was quite fascinating. And because I was in the between, I got to see the perspective of the darker skinned people and then also the lighter skinned people. And it made me realize how much perspective and belief plays in our life. But for me as a person, I felt trapped because I didn't know who I was. I didn't felt like I was being an authentic expression. And boom! Spiritual awakening! Look, there were more things that happened, but look, I'm also used to be an actress, so I am a little bit performative, but I'm also not being performative. I'm like actually just really being myself. I'm like really just being authentic with you guys. Okay, no, for real. No, but I have been for real though. Point is, I didn't know who my true self was. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to do what feels most authentic and most right for me. That's like deep advice, because even when I say it now, it's so simple. But that's it. That's it. When you are here being your human and you haven't really figured out what it means to separate yourself from your ego and understand what your ego is, and integrate your ego and be in your awareness, those things all sound kind of hazy. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to start practicing being true to whatever feels most true to you. And 100% of the time, it's exactly the right thing to do. Because whatever happens, it's going to lead you. It's going to lead you on your spiritual path. You're watching this because somewhere your soul is drawn to mine. You're here with me because this message is resonating for you. There's a reason you attracted me into your experience. There's a reason. So whatever you're doing, always, in that moment, be most authentically who you are. So this doesn't really answer the question of what is your true self when we're talking about your divine self. Because this that you see of me now is not how I was about 10 years ago. It's not who I was 2 years ago. It's not who I was when I was a little kid. It's not who I was when I was an actress. It's not who I was when I worked in a warehouse. It's just very, very different. And I've gone from extremes. Like I used to smoke pot like crazy. I used to smoke like twice a day. I used to have 2 different dealers. And I was dating a drug addict who I thought was bipolar. And I was in a terrible relationship. We'll talk more on that in the future if you really want to know, but I probably will talk about it. And then I went and I did this whole corporate thing, and I was just this Swiss guy, and it was amazing, and I was like doing all the things, and I was like traveling, and I was like, oh my God, corporate life. And then I was like, no, this doesn't feel like me anymore. And then here I am now with a YouTube channel talking to you guys about this stuff. Because what it made me realize is in each part of those points in my life, I didn't think, oh, this shouldn't be happening. Okay, well, maybe I did, but I did feel I didn't feel like it wasn't me. It was what needed to happen at that time. And now it's brought me to this point. So even though some of it hurt and it was what brought me to this point, to knowing that I can choose, and that the world isn't happening to me, it's happening from me. That's what it did for me, that's really what it did for me. And I will say that because there's a lot of material out there about how to manifest and how to put, and that stuff is groovy, it's great, and yes, do it. If you feel called to do it, do it. I'm manifesting too, I'm creating too, I'm consciously creating. But what's more powerful is to understand the source of that, It's like if I want to go and plant a plant, I want to know that the seeds that I have are like the organic seeds. They're the right stuff. They're the real stuff, right? That's at least what I want, because then I know when that plant grows, it's going to be the best that it can be. So I want to work with the right juice from the beginning. And I kept in my spiritual awakening having this question like, what is the source? What is the source? What is the source of this? And that's a question you should ask yourself. But I'm going to tell you what the source is. You are the source. Now, your ego will have a perspective of this and may take on a particular energy, which is why you need to know what is your ego and what really is you being source. Because you may think that you're your ego now who thinks that it's source. Yes, that happens. That's what a spiritualized ego is called. But true awareness is coming from the space of non-judgment and being able to just look at things as they are. And even in this moment, as I'm expressing myself, I'm aware of the fact that I'm expressing myself in the way that I'm expressing myself. But this expression is just an expression. It is not me. That is not who I really am. Because just now I may go and cry in the corner, and the crying in the corner is very different to what you're seeing right now, right? Like, let's do it for a moment. Fine, it's all good. Totally different expressions, right? Like completely different expressions. Still being aware of them all. So when you're listening to me now, this part of you that is listening to me, that is your awareness. The part of you that's thinking, that is just thoughts. That's mindy stuff. But the part of you that's listening to me, that's your awareness. Anytime you're drawing conclusions or making judgments or thinking how things are supposed to be, you're already in your mind. But when you're just observing and you're just looking at how it all plays out, that's your awareness. So it's like, here, I've said this before, you are the eye of the storm. Everything else, including your body, including your thoughts, including the physical world around you, this stuff is always changing. This stuff is always changing. You in the middle, infinite consciousness, you, that is what you are. That is your true self. But for me, where that became like super confusing was like, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just walk around like this the whole time? I mean, you totally could. You could totally just like walk around in silence and be aware. In actual fact, I would recommend that just so you could practice your awareness. But we're here on this planet, man. We're here, babies. We're here to live. And to live in our fullest capacity is to be active participants in the reality that we are in right now. And this is what people forget. They think that when they're going to manifest, they're just going to be sitting there on the couch and poof, oh, boyfriend, or $1 million. Would be wonderful. Maybe there are people who are that powerful and have realized that they can transcend their beliefs that can do that. I wouldn't be surprised. I believe in infinite possibilities. But you are here to experience, to explore, to understand that you create to enjoy all of it, guys, all of it. So that is then your authentic expression here in this body. So how am I most me in this body? How am I most me? What is it that I really want to do? What is it that my heart, yeah, what is it that my heart wants to do? What do I want to do living from here? And if you can start listening to what's going on in here and what makes your heart sing and what makes you be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's what you should be doing. That's where you find your most authentic expression. So here on this channel, that is what we explore. We explore your mind, how we can do that in our mind, how we do that spiritually, how we do that from the inside out. We explore the concepts that look into that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about my experiences too. So if that interests you and you're new, then welcome, join, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. I do not believe in coincidences. There's a reason that you're here watching this. So yay! I'm happy to meet you! If you're not new and you're returning, yay! Thank you. Nice to have you around again, and I'm so glad you're here. You're the reason I'm doing this. Because for me, what's more important than anything else is that you get to be your authentic expression, that you get to know that the life that you want for yourself is completely possible. The life that makes your heart sing is completely possible. And the way you get there is by listening to what it's singing. And then allow yourself to be that. So here we explore our true self and our most authentic expression in human form on this beautiful planet Earth. My name is Nightingale. I'm so happy to have you around. And thank you for listening. It's been my exquisite pleasure. If you haven't yet, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And as always, beautiful beings, as always, I wish you love. Bye, beautiful beings.